Hey everybody, this is Echo Papa, and today we're going to be talking about the mixer section in Virtual DJ 8. Now, the main mixer section, it's not unlike the mixer in an analog system. A lot of the functions work the same. So some of these controls, like the EQ and things, we're just kind of going to breeze over real quick. But someone had posted in the comments, they had a question about the master part of the skin, and so we'll go over that. And also, we're going to talk about the 4-channel section of the mixer, because it is slightly different from the 4-channel than when you're using the 2-channel. But let's start off here with the master section. Now, oh, and also let me point out real quick, if you see some of the controls moving, like the volume levels, it's just me. I have a controller hooked up to it tonight, so you may see some of that stuff, and that's just me. The let's go right to the master. Now over here, let's start off with this is the main volume right here. Now if you're playing with an external mixer, like I usually play with an external mixer, you want to set that master all the way, to a comfortable level. You're not going to play it maxed out. I apologize. I'm the other way. It's the other way around. If you're playing with an external mixer, you want it maxed out. You also want your channels to be maxed out. But if you're not playing with an external mixer, you're going to play it, wherever your sound volume is comfortable. Next, right below here, this is the limiter, and what this does is it says right here. It says compresses the sound instead of clipping it when it's too loud. Basically, this is to make sure that you don't play too loud for the output, your master outs, when you're going into, say, your amplifier, so you don't overload your amp, send it distortion or clip it. Also, like, let's say instead of going into an amplifier, let's say you're going into a house sound system, you're at a club or you're at a bar and you're going directly into their sound system, the house guy is going to be upset if you pump too hot a signal to him. So anyway, so this just fixes that. But if you're doing everything correctly and you have all your levels set correctly, this shouldn't even have to work. It should be all right. So next, over here, we have record. Now what this does is it lets you set a sample. You can set a sample off of the left deck or the right deck, but this lets you set a sample off of the master. So if you're, instead of recording a sample just what's playing on track your left track, if you're saying you're doing a mix or something and you want to record a sample of that, you can do that with the record function right here. Next, we have the headphone section. We have the volume, and then we have the mix. The volume is obviously the volume going into your headphones. It's not lit up right now because I don't have the headphones set up right now. And then mix, if it's all the way to the left, the mix is going to show you what's coming out of your PFLs or your pre-fader levels. In this case, it's this one right here is lit up. If we were to play the right deck here, then we're going to be able to hear what's coming out of the left deck. I'm sorry, the left deck. If we had both of them lit up, we're going to be able to hear both of them. We turn this one off. Now we're just going to hear the right. And what the mix does is if you move this all the way to the other side, now you're going to be able to hear what they call the program. That's the mix that the audience gets to hear. So, and that can be really important, especially if, let's say, you're in a place where the sound you're getting a little bit of a delay when you're hearing it through the house speakers, because it's hard to mix, if you're hearing the beats, even a quarter of a second later, all your mixes are going to be off. So just do this. You can hear the program, and that'll fix you up right away. Down below, we have a master effect. So just click down here. It's the same effects that are in the decks. There's nothing different. The only difference is this is going to come out on the master. Just like on the deck players, if you click the little pin right here, now it turns into a window that you can move wherever you want. You don't even have to have this on the virtual DJ screen. You can, if you have a second screen, you can take it right off onto your second screen and park it somewhere else. Just go ahead and close that out. Down here is your whole recording section, and we'll just touch base on it real quick. Clicking record is going to do what you think it does. It's going to record it to, you know, a WAV file or MP3 file, however you set it up. And the file section lets you choose where that's going to save at, and that's handy if you're doing a mixtape. You know, you just want to you're doing a mashup, you want to record something. That's right there for you. Next one is broadcast. Broadcast, if you're doing, say, like you want to send your signal out to like a server or to like an internet radio show, that's right there. I personally have never used a broadcast. None of these functions are new to Virtual DJ 8. They've been around for quite a while, but here they are. They're nice and out front, and I like that. It's pretty handy. Over here is the mic volume. I have a mic input hooked up, obviously, because I'm talking, and so you can see this jumping up and down as I speak. Usually I encounter a little bit of a delay when I use the microphone in Virtual DJ, but because I typically use an external mixer, I also use the microphone in the my external mixer versus the microphone that's in Virtual DJ. But you can use it. It's definitely there and definitely handy to use it. You want to set your volume, and once you got your volume set, just click on, and there you go. You get to hear. You'll go through the outputs of Virtual DJ. Also, you have here record, so that way if you wanted to record a sample, you could do that off your microphone. In fact, let's try that right now. Let's just click it real quick. Record, test, record, stop, and there it is down there. No, you can't see it, but it says mic, and then we could save it as, you know, whatever we wanted. And, there it is right now. We could play it and change it from a loop, pitch it up, down, whatever we want to do. Anyway, then down here, obviously we have a crossfader. You guys are all DJs. Yeah, I don't have to tell you what the crossfader does. No, it's crossfades. But before we get out of the mixer section, this is obviously 2-deck mode. Let's go to 4-deck mode. So now, actually, you know what? This is 6-deck mode. 6-deck mode is pretty much like 2-deck mode, so we're not gonna mess with it too much. The only difference is here it'll select which tracks or which decks are gonna go on the left crossfader, which one's gonna go on the right crossfader. You know, and you can turn any of them on and off. So, but for the most part, 6 decks and 2-deck is the same. So we're gonna go back to 4-deck. 4-deck, you can see it's obviously a lot different. Here we go back to the master for 4-deck. We still got our master section right here. If we got a record section, all that stuff. The only difference here is that we got 4 sections, so we can choose what is going to be coming out of the on this side versus what's going to come out of this side. And right here, you see this? This is a little menu. Okay, and this lets us pick different things about the mixer. Now, some of these are specific to the 4 decks setup. In this case, you see this is how your decks are set up. Now, for me, I would use 1, 2, 3, 4 because that's the way my external mixer is set up. But there are different setups for it. In fact, a lot of controllers, say like the Newmark V7 2, or I'm sorry, NS7 is set up like this: 3, 1, 2, 4. So and that's the way they do it. This is also the level indicators. Instead of, if you don't want it, a VU meter. If you don't know, VU stands for volume unit. You can also do the output level. I keep it as VU meter, just handier. And it's the style of cross fader that you want: full, smooth, which is good for scratching; cut, which is kind of closer to a scratch; and then obviously your full-on scratch. Crossfader disabled, where you can turn the crossfader off. And actually, you say, well, why would you want to turn the crossfader off? You want to turn the crossfader off sometimes because like when I play, I usually DJ with the channel faders versus the crossfader. I do use a crossfader, but not nearly as much as I hit the crossfader. And you know, sometimes you'll be doing something and you'll accidentally hit that crossfader, and you'll say, "Oh crap!" You know. So I wish I had it turned off. In fact, one of the mixers I can turn the crossfader off, and I frequently do. The other one is hamster, and that's just reversed. Okay. The hamster switch, it would just, whatever you have it set up, it's just going to make it backwards. So if we click that, it just now what was left is now going to be right, and what was right is now going to be left. They say, well, if for those new DJs that don't know what hamster is, well, hamster style is from a DJ crew. They were called the Bulletproof Scratch Hamsters. One of their signatures were they'd like to take the um, the left deck and put it into their right input, and then their right deck and put it into their left input, and so the crossfader was backwards. Because for a lot of scratch DJs, it can be a lot easier if that crossfader is just backwards. It just feels more natural, and so the hamster style was born. It became so popular that they started introducing that into analog mixers, and then when software came out, it just made it into software. So, and I appreciate that they actually call it the hamster switch, and give them that nod versus just calling it a reverse switch. So, so that is our 4-deck master. Let's go ahead and get out of here. We're going to go back to our 2-deck mode, and we're going to go back just to our mixer section. Now, I talked about gain in another video, so you can go check that out and see how that works. Basically, it's just to equalize the different tracks. And then equalizer, you all know what an equalizer is. I don't have to explain that. But one thing I will let you note is that the equalizer, that by default, does not have kills on it. So if you were to take this mid and take it all the way down, it's not a true kill. Now you can change that if you go to the option settings, and when we do an advanced mixer section video, I'll show you how to do that. But you can change it so it is a true kill, but by default it's not. The other cool thing, thank you guys at Atomics, is that they put a filter right there. Right in the mixer, so that way you don't have to go dig for the filter that everybody's always looking for and assign it an effect, or they gave it its own dedicated knob right in the switch, or I'm sorry, right in the mixer, and that's pretty handy. Of course, we know what these do. It's just crossfader. We know what that is, so I think we pretty well got this nailed down. The only thing different is this is our VU meter. If we right mouse click on it, we can change that VU meter. We can change the VU meter to show from VU meter to show output levels. But I personally prefer VU. Next, we'll go to 4-deck mode and we'll look at it. It's pretty much the same thing. I know it looks a little bit different, but there's just more of the same stuff. Still got your gain control at the top, 3-band EQ. Here you have your channel faders are right there. You have your filter, and then you have each deck has got a PFL button. So, and then the only difference is down here you can choose which side is going to have the fader is going to work for. So you could put, say, all 3 of these over here and just one over here. Whatever you want to do. And then here you have a mixer options. It's the same one. Oh, one thing I missed right here, fake mixer. Don't worry about fake mixer. Fake mixer is actually something for some controllers, because some controllers will have an built-in external mixer. However, the controls will still send a signal back to virtual DJ. And so when you say use your let's use this for an example. I'm right here. If this controller that I'm using had a built-in external mixer to it, when I move the channel fader, it's really the analog mixer built into the controller that's doing the work, but fake mixer just shows you where you're at. So this doesn't actually do anything when that's set up, and that's something for controllers. And if your controller doesn't have it, don't worry about it. In fact, you don't have to worry about it at all, because when you plug in that controller, most of the time that should hook right up. So that's our mixer mode. Nothing special. We're going back to 2-deck mode. Now we're going to go into video. Video also, if you've loaded up a video before, you've seen what it looks like. Let's go ahead and we're going to throw in a couple tracks. Let's see if these will load up. Okay, here's one. Do this other one. Okay, and so if we play it here, I'll turn this down. We can see it right here. This is our preview window. Same way over here. If we were to play this one, we can see it over here. Okay, now if you double click on this window right here, it's going to bring up your master window right there. In case mine jumped over to I have a second screen running, and this jumped over to my second screen automatically. So it'll automatically start up, open up this window for you if it's not already open. If you click on either one of these, you can see it automatically just selects that. This here is this is your audio crossfader, just like normal. This is your video crossfader, and you can see they move together when you have this link connected. You disconnect it. Now you can control the audio and the video independently from one another. But I keep them linked, so just because it's more convenient if the audio is just matching the video. But there are some situations where you might not necessarily want those to sync up. You might want to play, say, a video on the left side that has nothing to do with the song that's playing on the right side. But that's what that is. And what auto does is auto just does a pretty good job of guessing where you want this video to crossfade to. Here you have transition. These are just all the transitions, whole bunch of them. You can play with those. I won't go into detail about them. You can go play with them. A couple really cool ones. Most of them though are pretty over the top, and there's not. I like a simple just fade. Some of the other ones they're cool for every once in a while, but just kind of like effects. There's something you want to sprinkle in occasionally just to add a little bit of flavor versus actually overpowering your audience with them. So just a good fade is always awesome. And then this is video effects, and the same thing, just like effects that you would have for your audio. These are things that you can overlay on top of your video. And the one I use most is simply just title, just to list the name of the song. All right, and one thing I want to note here, if you move the channel faders down, you'll see. Let's go ahead and move this all the way to the left. Okay, now you can see the input. Let me zoom this in a little bit. The reason it's small like this and you got this big, huge like letterbox around it is because I have the video window in kind of an odd shape. I'm gonna go ahead and stretch that out. There you go. That's better. Is if you fade this down so that you're fading down the volume, obviously this will fade to black. Okay, so that way your signal is gone. And also the other thing that I want to show you guys, if you didn't see it, I have another video out there about your logo, that you can put your logo on your video screen. So check that out too. But back to our mixer section. Let's go to 4-deck mode and look at the video section. It's the same. You'll notice that there's only 2 here, and all you have to do is just pick which one you're gonna the video is gonna be. Let's load up some videos in here. Let's see, one there. I'll put one there. And now, if I switch over here. Okay, now I got this one. I'm playing deck number 4 now because I have deck 4 selected. If I were to go over here and it's the same. Now I'm playing also deck number 2. If I select deck number 2, now deck number 2 is playing up here, and that's really the only difference. If you want whichever deck's going to be assigned to this side, it's going to be whatever you select over here. This got your pre-fader levels, your crossfader levels, your link, your auto. So it's all the same. It's just 4. Let's go back to 2-deck mode, and we're going to go to scratch mode. Scratch mode is my favorite mode because I use an external mixer. I don't need to look at the mixer of Virtual DJ, and so I just put it into scratch mode. I'm usually not actually scratching very often, but I don't know. I just like seeing a close-up view of the waveform of the track, scrolling upwards like that. So let's go over this just real quick. We got your gain control, which you've seen before. We got our volume faders, PFL buttons, but we got our crossfader right there. The what's different is right here we got our zoom, and what this does, this just zooms in the waveform. You click it a few times, see it just zooms in. So now when we play it, it's just zoomed in more, and it looks like it's going faster. You're just zoomed in more. That's all the difference is. And you can zoom in closer, zoom out, whatever's comfortable for you. The other one is clone. Clone is very handy if you are a scratch DJ. Because let's go ahead and we're going to put in we'll get out. This is still a video track that's loaded up in here. Let's put in a regular track. Okay, we're going to put some salt and pepper in there. Let's see. About here you go, some AMG. All right, so let's say you're playing on this deck right here, and you got a good loop going, and let's say you wanna scratch something. You just take it and you hit clone deck. It's gonna load up the exact same song playing at the exact same time. And this is handy, especially if you want to do flipping doubles. There is a flipping double effect that's in your effect section, but if you like to do flipping doubles on your own, just take it, grab it off a beat, and then just do your flipping double. And then if it's off again, you can hit clone again. It syncs right back up, and then now you can go over here and you can go ahead and you can scratch and do whatever, and then when you're done with it, you just turn it off and go back into whichever song. And this song is awesome, or the clone deck is awesome. It's real handy. The other one is mute reverse. Now, what mute reverse is, it's kind of it lets you scratch without the crossfader. It's a short version. So if you were to turn this on, I know I don't have the volume on for these right now, but if you were to take it and you hold on to the deck, when I go pull it back to do my scratch, it's going to mute it, as if you close the crossfader, and then when I let it go forward again, it's going to open up, and you can hear the audio. When I go back, it's going to close it. It'll be on mute. Got it. And then so as you're doing your scratch, it's basically acting like it's closing the crossfader for you, and that's what mute reverse does. So, and then here you have beat lock, and beat lock just keeps these decks synced together. So let's go ahead and turn beat lock on. And so even if I were to take this and stop it, you can see it stops the other deck. It tries to keep them locked together, and it'll move it a little bit forward, but it's gonna try and keep these decks locked to one another. So I don't really use the beat lock very much, but you can play with it and it's there for you. So let's go into 4-deck mode for scratch right here, and I love it. You got all 4 of your decks. You can see all 4 of your waveforms right there, and you just got your beat lock for all of them, your clone deck, your mute reverse, you got your volume faders, PFL, your mixer option. So it's all there. It's just everything's a little more compressed together, so it can be, if you're not used to seeing it, just hang out with the 2-deck version for a while, and then once you get to the 4-deck version, this will be like nothing once you get used to it. The one other thing that I wanted to talk about while we're in here, and that's ghost controls. Let's stop this. If you see right here, see this little square right here? Now what that is where the fader is at on my controller. Okay. Now down here, this is the fader in the software. Now right now, this fader is the master. Okay. So even though my controller is up here, is at the top. Let's go to the mixer section. You can see a little bit better. Let's go to 2-deck mode. There we go. You can see it up here, right there. If we were to, we can move this, and this is the master. Whatever we do to this is what happens to our audio, and this is just showing us where that is. Now we can move this too. Now watch. You see it moving? Yeah, I'll move the mouse along with it so you can see where it's at. It might be hard to see in the video. But this is where it's the hardware fader physically is. So if you want to if you want to make them connect, you just move your fader down to where the software fader is, and you can see they lock in, and now I'm controlling it with the hardware. The same thing happens with the crossfader, because like right now I'm controlling the crossfader with the crossfader on the controller. Now if I take it and manually move it with the mouse, over here, let's move that. You can see it's kind of, let me move the mouse along with it so you can kind of see it. That is a ghost crossfader. That is physically the crossfader on my controller. That's moving back and forth, but it's not controlling the sound because it's not synced up with the crossfader on the software. Now you can change that. You can go in the options, and if you don't like that mode, let's go ahead and I'm going to slide this all the way over, and now bam, now my controller's got control again. So, and that's just a function, like let's say, because sometimes I'll just grab the mouse and do something, especially if if I'm already, like let's say I just loaded up a track and I've already got my hand on the mouse, I'll just go ahead and click, shift this over, shift it left, shift it right. So now that we've talked about that, let's go over some of some things with the crossfader and with the channel faders. Let's go ahead and move this all the way to the left. I'm going to right mouse click on this, and you see it jumps all the way over. As soon as I let it go, it jumps back. So this is, you can use the right mouse fader as kind of a, almost like a scratch, and it just jumps from one side to the other, so you can play with it beat wise. And your these right here too, we'll do the same thing. If I click it down here and jump it back up, I'm using the right mouse button, not the left mouse button, and that'll give me that temporary point that I can change it. If you double click on these, they will reset back to center. Let's double click on this one, and see now if I clicked on it once, it's going to jump to where I click it. But once it realizes I'm double clicking, it goes right back to center. So let's go over here. I'm gonna double click. You're gonna see it jump real quick. So the first click is gonna move. Second click is gonna realize, oh hey, you're double clicking. You want it to reset. Okay, there we go. So same thing with these. This one, wherever you click it, it's gonna move. You're gonna have to. Oh, it does not go to the top when I double click it. So, but wherever you click it at, one click will move the fader wherever you want it, and also the EQ. If you double click the EQ, I know the EQ goes back to center. And if you right mouse click on it, it will automatically go to the bottom, which is mostly a kill, but not a real kill, like we talked before. If you want to make a real kill, it's in the options section. But if you right mouse click on it again, it'll go back to 0. So anyway, that is the mixer section in Virtual DJ. Just kind of a quick overview. Most of the stuff, I mean, it acts like a mixer and a regular analog mixer. So if you're already a DJ and you know how the mixer works, for the most part, you got it. So, but if you have any questions or something that you feel that I didn't talk about, please put it in the comments. Please let me know what you think about this video. If you liked it, please click the like button. If you really liked it, share it with your friends, put it on YouTube, Twitter, and please subscribe if you want some more videos. And my name is Echo Papa, and I'll talk to you guys later.